Hey, this is Tom at Talon Guitar Works, and you're looking down at the headstock of this Stratocaster because I'm going to do a string video. I got asked to do how I restring a guitar, an electric or an acoustic, and I'm going to go over that with you right now. What I do first is seat the ball end of the strings through the saddle, and then I'm going to pull the string tight across the headstock of the guitar. I'm going to take my index finger and I'm going to pull all the way down almost to the first fret. Then I'm going to take this running end of the string and I'm going to wrap it around the binding post one time. I'm going to go from outside to inside, if I find the hole. There we go. And slide the string through. Now at this point you'll see the loop there. What I'm going to do is flip this string over, and you'll notice that it formed a really nice tight bite on that binding post right there. So I'm going to pull up right here. I'm going to take my string peg winder and get it going in the right direction. Now you'll notice that the first wrap of this string is already on the top side. And what that did was give me one wrap on top, 2 wraps on the bottom, which is recommended. Now these are locking tuners. Now I'm going to go ahead and lock it in afterwards. Now I'm going to bend this string that was vertical down because nobody likes getting stuck with guitar strings. And then I'm going to take the tip of my side cutters and I'm just going to push in and get that string pointed straight down. So now I'm going to repeat this on every string coming around here. And I know somebody out there is going to say, well, you have locking tuners on there, you don't have to do that. Yeah, I know. I do it on everything. All the string manufacturers recommend that you have like 2 to 3 wraps around the binding post to have really good tuning stability. Just going through and having that anvil on that locking tuner is still going to allow that string to slip a little bit. So the worst thing that you could do is have multiple wraps going around the binding post where they're actually stacking on top of each other. Because what that does is it allows the string to get a bite between the 2 other strings below it. Now, as your string diameter decreases, because I've got the E, the A, and the D on now, you don't have to take your distance all the way down to this first fret. You could go about halfway down, and that's going to give you enough string to form your bite to go through the binding post, flip it around and have that nice bite on the binding post, and then have the 1 wrap above and 2 to 3 wraps now are going to start coming out below, even with going halfway there. And then afterwards, I'm going to go ahead and lock it. Now, one of the myths on locking tuners is locking tuners keep the strings in tune better. Now, locking tuners, the only thing they actually do is allow you to change the strings very quickly in maybe an environment where you're playing out. Now I could see it. It's right there. Get through there. There it is. My old eyes trying to focus on this. So anyway, you notice I've got some tension here on the string as I'm winding it, and I'm going to get those wraps in. Now what I was talking about a minute ago with those loops is you see the way that this solder lays on here. And there's another row of solder underneath it, right? Now, if I pull tight on this, what it's going to do is pull this solder strand into the strands below it. And that's what's going to affect your tuning later on. So if you just have a single row of wraps on your tuning binding post, you're much better off. It's not going to slip as much over time, and your tuning stability is going to be a lot better. Now, other things for your tuning stability are this nut that's on top here of the collar. Those need to be tight, and that's because the pinion gear and the other gear in the tuning machine need to maintain a 90-degree angle to work properly. And when you start putting pounds of pressure on a tuned guitar string, it's going to start pulling the binding post out of 90 degrees if it's not tight. Now, if it does that, what happens is those gears will slip. And if the gears slip, your tuning slips. The other thing you want to check on your tuning machines is you'll see these little bitty, and let me get something to point them out that's smaller than my big finger. These little washers in here, people will call them nylon washers. I call them what they are. They're friction adapters. And at the end of these tuning machines, at the knobs, there are screw heads, and these are slotted screw heads, and these adjust the amount of pressure and friction that's on the tuning machine to hold it in tune. If you're missing one of these, it's an easy fix, and it's not your tuning machines that are bad if one of these are broken or just gone from wear and tear. So anyway, this is Tom at Talon Guitar Works. Hope you enjoyed this video of how I put the strings on the guitars. They're nice and neat. I'm not going to get poked and bleed with any of this. So we'll catch you next time. All right.